Do you ever walk into a modern house and feel like something's missing? The walls are clean, the lights are bright, everything's efficient. But somehow, it doesn't feel like home. Now, step into a house built in the 1920s. It creaks a little. It smells like old wood and stories. There are quirks, little touches built not for profit, but for people. These homes were made in an era of craftsmanship. Every corner had a purpose, and often, a little bit of magic. Today on Timeless Americana, we're traveling back 100 years to remember 10 home features from the 1920s we wish would come back, and what made them so special in the first place. Let's start with the front door. The first one is the milk door, a quiet ritual of trust. In the 1920s, milk wasn't something you picked up at a grocery store. It was delivered to your house, fresh every morning. And many homes had a small built-in feature called a milk door, a tiny cabinet set into an exterior wall, often near the kitchen. It opened on both sides, one door for the milkman outside and one for you inside. He'd place bottles of milk inside, along with butter or eggs. You'd open your side and bring it in, often without ever speaking face to face. It was private, simple, and built on trust. The milkman knew your routine, and you knew he'd be there. Eventually, home refrigeration and supermarkets ended daily deliveries, and the milk door became a quaint relic. But wouldn't it be something to bring back that quiet connection? The second one is the sleeping porch, summer's natural air conditioning. Long before central air and ceiling fans, hot summer nights could be miserable. So many 1920s homes were built with a sleeping porch, a screened-in space, usually on the second floor, open to the breeze. Families would move their beds or cots out there for the summer. Kids would fall asleep to the sound of crickets, and parents would sit and talk under the moonlight. It was cooler than any bedroom, and it felt like camping, but better. You were home and outside at the same time. As air conditioning took over, these porches were often enclosed or removed altogether. But the feeling of a cool night breeze through a screened wall? That's something worth missing. The third one is built-in bookshelves, walls that tell stories. Back then, homes didn't just have walls. They had built-in bookshelves. Crafted from oak or walnut, they were built into the architecture, framing fireplaces, filling corners, standing proud beneath staircase landings. Books were a part of daily life, entertainment, education, conversation. These shelves turned ordinary rooms into cozy studies. They weren't just storage, they were a statement. Books belong here. In newer homes, open floor plans and minimalism took over. Today's shelving often feels like an afterthought. But those built-ins? They made a home feel wise. The fourth one is the telephone niche, when calls mattered. Before smartphones, before even cordless phones, calls were made from one place, the hallway telephone. And many 1920s homes had a telephone niche, a little recessed area in the wall with a small shelf for the rotary phone, a notepad, maybe a pen. It was the designated call spot, and it meant business. Conversations were deliberate. You'd sit on a bench nearby, take notes, and really listen. It wasn't about scrolling or multitasking. It was about connection, one voice at a time. Today, the niche is often covered by drywall. But wouldn't it be nice to slow down and really talk again? The fifth one is push-button light switches, small, satisfying moments. You've probably seen them in movies, or maybe your grandmother's house. Push-button light switches had two small buttons, one for on, one for off. They were often made of Bakelite and mounted on brass or ceramic plates. There was something deeply satisfying about using them. They were precise, elegant, and felt like something from a vintage train car. These fell out of favor after the 1940s, replaced by cheaper toggle switches. But they still work, and they still make you smile. That little click wasn't just a sound, it was a moment. The sixth one is the pull-chain toilet, flushing with flair. Yes, even the bathroom had style. In many 1920s homes, toilets featured a high-mounted tank, often made of porcelain, with a long metal or wooden pull chain. You'd give it a tug, and the flush was dramatic, loud, full force, almost theatrical. This wasn't about water efficiency or sleek design. It was about function and flair. Eventually, manufacturers moved toward compact, floor-mounted models. But let's be honest, today's toilets feel a little boring. There's something oddly charming about a flush that made an entrance. The seventh one is transom windows, hidden genius above the door. Look above a door in a 1920s home, and you might find a transom window. These small, horizontal windows sat above interior doors, and they opened independently. Two big reasons: light and airflow. Before central HVAC systems, you had to manage heat and breeze on your own. Transoms let warm air circulate between rooms and sunshine pour into dark hallways. Some even had stained glass designs, turning function into beauty. As building codes changed, transoms disappeared. But they're still one of the smartest, most elegant ideas in old home design. The eighth one is glass door knobs, little works of art. To some, it's just a doorknob, but in the 1920s, it was jewelry for the home. Many interior doors featured cut glass knobs, clear, faceted, and often mounted on brass or bronze plates. They sparkled in the sunlight. They felt heavy and real in your hand. These weren't mass-produced plastics. They were crafted pieces, meant to last and to be admired. As builders cut costs, metal and plastic knobs took over. But glass knobs still say one thing: this home was loved. The ninth one is radiator covers, warmth with elegance. Most homes were heated by iron radiators, big, clunky, and incredibly hot. But instead of hiding them, people dressed them up. Radiator covers were made of wood or metal, often with lattice or grill patterns that allowed heat to flow while keeping the look refined. Some had shelves for books or plants. Others were painted to match the room. They turned something purely functional into part of the furniture. Today's forced air systems may be sleeker, but a good radiator cover? That's old school cozy. And finally, number 10, pocket doors, open, close, disappear. Imagine sliding a door open and it vanishes into the wall. That's the beauty of the pocket door. In the 1920s, many homes used these to separate living and dining areas or to create privacy in smaller spaces. They saved room, looked elegant, and felt, let's be honest, a little magical. Over time, builders found them expensive and hard to maintain. But they're making a comeback in historic renovations, and it's easy to see why. They're not just doors. They're designed with intention. So, what happened to all of this? Some of it was lost to time, some to convenience, but a lot of it was lost because we stopped building homes to feel like home. First, we simplified, and somewhere along the way, we traded character for square footage. It's time to bring some of it back. So tell us, which of these features would you love to see again? Drop us a comment below, give this video a like, and subscribe if you love stories from the past. Because here at Timeless Americana, we believe every old home still has something to teach, and every memory is worth opening the door to.